and welcome to the 30... Oh, should we...
Oh, fuck, every time!
38?
Classic.
We'll go for
I don't
it.
know.
We don't have time to check.
No.
Hello and welcome to the 38th episode of the Mediocre Best Podcast. I am James, the Nerdy Brit Skinner.
I am Fraser Oliver. Look at that.
Well in, we smashed
I am
it.
going to keep it the fact we have no idea what episode
No,
we're on, just
as
because
we
it's
should.
such a laugh.
This is like
no
so
idea what's going
weird
on.
to me.
So we're just sat in the middle of the Mediocre
Yeah.
podcast.
So, we ain't alone.
I was like, eagle-eyed among you will know.
Hello.
There's more than two
We are
people.
Matt and Ben of the Danish Book Club.
See, they're professionals already. We didn't have to ask them to introduce
they
themselves.
got
They
this.
were ready.
And also, like, fact, like we mentioned on the podcast quite a few times, like when we go through our like little list of people we know that will be watching, you always come up. So you've been like, people might not know. This is if we say Matt and Ben, this is
the
who
Matt
we
and
mean.
Ben.
This is
what I
Matt
mean,
and
like,
Ben.
This is why it's so weird for me. I'm only ever on your side. So
And now you get
It's
to
an
be-
honour,
Sat here,
guys.
it's
Honestly,
so
yeah.
weird.
Well, it's
Complete
one of those things
honour.
you've been trying to do for so long, and just like timetables of
Yeah.
work, and it just hasn't synced up. We thought, you know what?
It's a
And
pleasure
yet
to be here.
we picked our busiest lifetime and somehow
Yeah,
managed to
somehow
work it out.
lads.
But
We were going to try and get like a nice studio, do it look all nice, and we thought, you know what? It's too much work. Let's just do it on the
It's
sofa.
gotta
Do
be
it on the Mab
mediocre,
sofa.
It's
Yeah,
iconic
Like,
at this
it's
point.
got to be on the Mab sofa.
Sweet.
so, as obviously we love you, Ben, we love you, Matt. But together, together we have the Danish Book Club, and I love them. I love them. So,
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.
what is the Danish Book Club?
That is the name of the band that we have made together.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's
I've never
really
been
calling it
asked
a
that
band.
before. Like, yeah, we don't even know really if it's a band because like we lived together last year for first year and we both play, so we were just jamming and it just kind of kept going up and up and up. We never really purposely made it a band really.
We did it by accident.
What was
Yeah.
the first sort of gig or thing that you did where you went, this could be more than just having a little jam?
Well,
You could, this could
Actually,
be.
do you remember in first year with the corridor concerts?
I do remember the corridor.
That was when we started playing in front of people. That was a
Right.
whole different vibe.
Uh-huh.
But even before that, for literally first week of freshers, we were jamming. I mean, we just jamming. That's the thing. We're still just jamming.
Still
It's
jamming, yeah.
It's just we got a name for it now. Yeah.
That's the thing. A lot of your I've been do like open mic nights quite a lot, and we me and Dave do try to go as many as we can, and it always seems like it's a very sort of improvised thing. Is it or?
Definitely. Well,
Sorry.
we don't live together anymore, so actually every time we jump up on stage, that's the first time we play together.
Yeah,
in a
we don't
while.
practice.
So like, yeah,
That would.
we-
I'd be shitting myself if I was like.
But you wouldn't be able to tell. I think what I always love about it is obviously this it is a very improvised feel in a way. It does have that rawness when you do it, but it doesn't feel unpracticed.
Thank
Okay,
you.
That's
cheers
for
for that,
sure.
man.
Cheers.
But,
No, like you wouldn't know that that's the first time you played together in like however long. Like
yeah, I
Cool.
suppose. Well,
Yeah,
thanks for saying
thank
so.
you. Yeah, cheers. It's.
I think it's like the chemistry, like that you just see. So you got to say, like you know what, like you bounce off each other so well.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the
that's-
thing, right?
that's what we got.
When we first started jamming, we were like, oh right, yeah, there's something like we've definitely got some sort of musical connection here.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
yeah, and we just kept taking it up and up and
Busking was a
busking, yeah.
turning point.
I remember coming to see you like in town,
That's
and I
right,
came
yeah.
watching for like a day of busking. That was like very early on. So
That's right, yeah, that's where it all started kicking off and stuff.
I
and-
guess so. Obviously, you do open mic nights, which is anyone can turn up
Uh-huh.
with their stuff, say they want to play and play. But
Yeah.
how does it work with like you've done you played at the Eden Project recently. You played at an
Yeah.
event in like a club. How does that? Do they approach you? Do you
Yeah.
like how does that?
They do. I don't know. It's kind of who you know. We have a friend, Sadie. We met her at the bus stop. Shout
She's
out.
obviously watching right now.
She's not.
Sadie, big fan of the show.
Big
So-
up, Sadie.
Well then,
It started off with that. I don't know if you remember last year, this year around April time, we played at the Indigo events.
Yeah.
In a Marta
Autism awareness.
autism awareness
Yeah.
event. It just kind of goes from there. Like once you have your face up there, they know. So the True Colours, they approached us because they remembered us from there. Same with the Eden Project. Yeah, it's just like they just approach you if a venue needs musicians and they,
That's all it is really, because like we had 3 in a row, which made it seem like oh, it's all
It's like you were like
happening.
gigging, you're like, what?
It's
It's
just
like, this is
coincidence.
mental.
Yeah, but it's really lovely to be asked to play. Like, we've gone from forcing people to hear us play.
Yeah,
on
like
the
we're
street.
at an open mic.
Yeah.
If you're sat here, you're gonna hear
Exactly,
us.
and now people
Yeah.
actually are asking us to, which is a nice thing. But we're just going with the flow as it goes, really. Like, again, we don't really think of it as a band or anything. It's just we're having a lot of fun, and it's nice for people to want to hear it. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where, from the timeline of it, you've gone from almost fall means probably not the wrong word because
Right.
What's going on there? Oh, it's the band name.
that's what always happens. From almost like from a year to like establishing something that has been seen to play at like the Eden project when that one was announced. That was kind of like the big one where I was like, wow, okay,
It felt that
that's
way,
fucking
actually.
cool.
It's funny you say that because we were saying the exact same thing the other day. We can kind of put it exactly a year. The first time we went busking, and then literally past 365 days we were playing at the Eden project.
Yeah.
It was quite a special realization for us
It was.
because we really aren't doing it on purpose. We're just kind of like we're just enjoying it, and it's
Yeah.
like quite important to us. That is all that we're doing.
What's
So
funny
for
is
it to end up something so established like the Eden project was really, really unbelievable. Actually, yeah, quite an honour to be honest.
it is for us. Like, that's the thing. It feels like an honour for us, but then other people seem to be invested in it now, which brings a whole new different light to it. Like, it's kind of weird how people, people kind of follow the journey of it and know our faces a little bit in town and stuff, which is a very strange
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
ups
yeah.
and downs. On the one hand, it's nice because it's nice to like spread that kind of feeling, but on the other hand, it's kind of weird how people sort of think they know you before they know you, and
Yeah.
make assumptions kind of thing. It's weird. It's all low key though. It's good fun though.
Yeah, that must be. I guess it must be surreal for like. So with writing songs, like you do originals and covers, or is it mostly?
I would say 90% original.
99%.
Yeah, we don't really play
Okay.
covers, to be
The only
honest.
one we do as a cover is the blues one, I guess. But that's a medley
Yes.
Right.
of
yeah.
blues songs. But
That one because you play that quite a lot, like the end of like open mic
yeah.
sets. Did that just come together from? How did that one come together?
Well, I think I was teaching Matt the 12 Bar Blues because
Yeah.
it's a really fun thing to like improvise with, like musically, and you can make stuff up. So we just because the 12 Bar Blues is the same chords, no matter what song. Like all the songs we sing are the same chords, so we just put them together, and it's really fun to jam. And then the energy's really high. That's why we play at the end because everyone dances if we ask them to. So it came about that way.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that you mentioned about people getting up and dancing. I've noticed that when we've been to open mic nights, you two are so good at like getting the energy in the room mental. Like someone could have been singing like a really emotional song with like acoustic guitar,
Which is great as well.
before and then you come on and like you will just get everyone stood up. It's like
cool,
what has
yeah.
happened? Like
Yeah,
how?
yeah. It's exciting.
Happened last night actually.
It
Didn't
did, yeah. I think it's like I've said this before. What it is for us is like it seems obvious that like we're on the stage and then the people are like down there. But what it really is that we're all sharing. Like we're all sharing the same energy. So the idea is that I'm sharing that music, but like we're all dancing with it and we're all enjoying the same music. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like. It's important again that it's not like right everybody come in and listen to us and we'll play and you watch. It's kind of like everyone come in and we'll all on
Yeah,
the
that's
same
it.
All
on the
enjoy
same-
it,
we'll
yeah.
all be on the same level playing field. Like sure it's coming from us and we have the mics, but it's not about that. It's not about us. It's about the energy in the room.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. Kind of is getting if you know it takes a little bit of like right let's all get up, let's all share this energy, and it's such a. I mean, yeah, you've been there. It's like a really.
It's a fantastic.
amazing, yeah,
It's
energy
really good
phenomenon.
atmosphere in a room.
Yeah.
That's why we try and stress when we ask people to come. We're not saying come see us play. We're
It's like
saying
come and join
come
in,
be
like,
here.
It'll
Yeah.
be a good fun.
Because like
Yeah, it's not
I
about
enjoy
that.
listening as much as I enjoy playing. Well, actually, I think I enjoy playing more at this point because again, it's back to giving that energy thing. When you're the
Yeah.
person that's making the energy happen, it just feels like you're navigating your way through the universe in a completely the way that you want to do it. I don't know. It's kind of deep for us. Like it's our hobby, but because we're kind of like. We go deep on things, I guess. It's like, it's a really beautiful idea to think that you have power of all the things in the universe to do. You're a human being that has agency over your own life and you can make decisions, and if you put all that energy into spreading the vibrations outward, you know, someone might be watching us play and then be inspired to play themselves, inspire someone else. It's like the vibrations keep rippling through.
It's actually the same as what you guys are doing with this.
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly. Yeah.
It's so not. It just come on.
It genuinely
Don't
is. You
put
can
it-
laugh, but like you're doing the same thing. You guys are putting your faces out there and you're putting your energy out there, which is a positive thing.
Oh, Oh, thank you.
Oh no,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
It just is what's happening. Any content creator, I think, and that's why Falmouth is such a beautiful town for like collaboration. If you're content creating, if you have that drive to do it, that drive must come from an instinct to want to just make subtle changes in the world. You know, someone watches your show and it changes the way they perceive their day in a subtle but relevant way. And that's how we view it. That's why I love this town.
You guys are just pushing positive vibrations.
Positive
Well, I don't know about positive.
Well, you are.
If that's the case, subscribe! Well, then, we got it in.
You got it.
Got it in. 11 minutes, fish bath bowl. Lovely stuff.
But yeah, we've talked too much about us a little bit now. Let's talk about you guys because it's.
No, because I brought up songs. I want to know like your method for writing. Is it like you jam and then like, that sounded cool? What would we do? Is
definitely not.
Because I definitely got the vibe of you'll be messing around having a jam, and then you'll find something and go, that sounded really cool.
Yeah.
How can we
pretty
do
much.
that? And then
We've
just start
actually,
sort of improvising and.
Yeah, so we've never written a song, have we? Really?
Together, no. Like we've had songs that come out of us.
Yeah, it's just busking and jamming, and
Some
basically what we'll do is we'll choose some chords, and then we will just spout and spout and spout, and every now and then a little bit will, you can kind of tell like we're singing about like doves and seagulls and stuff. Like
I think that makes it because I couldn't tell. I can't tell that it's not a fully written song.
Oh, cool.
I remember one time, so I think this might have been the first time I properly came to see you. I believe it was called Cornish Bank.
Yeah.
You guys played, and I want to elaborate on this one because it's one that I really enjoyed. You played the Fish song.
Yeah.
And mate, Fish
It's famous.
Swim. What an incredible song.
Yeah, I haven't played that one in a while.
Oh, it's
And
my
then-
favourite. It's so good.
And then Matt tells me it's never the same every night.
Oh no, it's
No,
not.
make it
It's
up.
not. It's not.
Because obviously I feel like that's really interesting because there are like multiple talents going on at once. There's the playing,
Guys,
there's the playing the chords, there's the singing ability, there's all that,
improvising.
and then you are actively.
And we're handsome. And
Exactly.
Well,
But the other thing is like
I'm
you have
joking,
to,
but
you have to
thank you.
like level each other. Like if one of you improvise, you then have to go off it, like bounce off each other well enough for like a song that isn't written.
Pretty much.
Like
We
I've
listen
never
to
really
each other.
thought about
Yeah.
it.
so you can never tell. Like
How are you, Lil-Manuel Miranda?
you literally just
Well,
there's no point where you like go in different directions. You always are like it's mental, and the fact that it's not written.
You could probably do it too, man.
definitely-
Like,
No, I
but honestly, like,
It's not that.
what we do when we go busking is we go. Somebody shouts out a word, and they'll give us a word like, well, they'll always say banana.
Bananas or
anything.
pasty.
Yeah, but say they say the word banana, and then I'm playing the chords. You could just say, I'm going to the shop today, and then you think of something that rhymes with the word today. Oh, it's gonna be happy, not grey. I don't think I'm gonna.
But you're still at respect to my ability to rhyme words with other words.
That's what we're doing.
You said today, and it took me
I'm half listening to you and half going, what the fuck rhymes with today? I don't know what rhymes.
Alright, well,
Right,
but
well-
that's the only skill that you have to harness initially, and then you can do more complex
I love
stuff.
the
Can you harness the ability to rhyme quickly?
Yeah, I think you can because everything just takes practice. Like happy not grey is a bullshit example.
No, that's great.
Like,
That's great. I enjoyed
you
that.
can just think about the complexity. Lin-Manuel Miranda is funny you mentioned him because I find his ability to rhyme impeccable. Like he'll
Oh,
just
he
take
is
a
like,
four-syllable
he's one
word.
of the.
It's
like,
that
God, like-
because it's his I think it's like called Freestyle Love
It's free-
Supreme.
yeah.
Yeah, I love freestyle, love Supreme.
All of that stuff is
Meant.
sick.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So like people do it. Like it's just a skill as any other skill. Like painting, anything you get better as you go. Like, that's
It
just.
doesn't actually feel like a skill even because like actually when you're doing it, it does kind of feel like you're just spouting absolute
Yeah,
nonsense.
and 90% of the time you are, and then
Yeah.
sometimes things will be good, and then that's what people will remember.
Yeah, but in terms of the thing you were saying about like not going, it's just like listening to each other, really, isn't it? And just,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think that's like another skill, like multitasking, like right, sing, play the chords, also clock what is Ben doing, what's he sitting, like that. You've got so much going on in your head. Like,
No, the thing is, I mean, anybody watching who is a musician would know that the playing of the chords to a certain extent is muscle memory.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
I'm going to put my fingers in this place, and it's not like a conscious thing. That's just sort of happening in the background, and then singing becomes the same. It's again, like this is why I have like quite strong. Wow.
are you actually taking the choice?
How long was that?
Are you a
Jesus. That was a hot controlling pass.
It's the G master. It's very hard. Jesus Christ.
So we can't rhyme, we can make Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
we can make relatively good fun.
It's definitely not like it's not. There's not as much going on in your head as you think.
No,
actually.
yeah.
Like you said, everyone watching that's a musician, it's like it just does become second nature by the time that you're up there. And like like you said, muscle memory is the easiest way to phrase it. Like it's just just listening really.
My opinion on talent in general, which is maybe controversial, is that I don't think talent is an innate thing. I don't even think it really exists. I think what people have maybe is passion, and passion breeds, I guess, resilience or whatever, and you keep going and going. Like, say I'm really passionate about music, really want to be good, so I'll just practice and get better and learn and be good. Same as cooking or anything people do in day to day. I don't think talent's something you're born with. Maybe passion is something you're born with. I don't know where that comes from. But any kind of skill, like what you're describing, for us, the thing that we're doing, which is a low-key thing, by the way. You guys are bigging us up way too much.
Yeah. Which
But
we
like,
will.
That's our job.
It's only because we enjoy it, and the more we enjoy it, the more we do it, the more we do it, the more we get, it's...
But you say we're bigging you up. You have done you've gone from in a year busking on Falmouth streets to play to ask to be played at the Eden Project. That's not a small
It doesn't
for
feel.
us.
Yeah, it is
you've got
big for us.
if you look at
And it.
because everything's relative.
Yeah, I suppose so,
That's a massive thing.
Hearing you say that's cool, because obviously it's a big deal for us, but I have no idea why you guys give a fuck. But I'm so happy you do.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. No, it only feels like it's big for us, and that's because that's all it really is, to be honest, isn't it? It's just like we said, we're just kind of floating.
Yeah.
We're doing our own thing, but it's so nice that to get the support. It's it's
Yeah, we
really,
appreciate
really,
it.
really nice. Yeah, thank you guys. Cheers. Yeah.
I'm curious, do you have a favourite song that you guys do? Even if it's not, you don't do it specifically consistently. Or is there a show that you've done once and you did that one song, even if it was once and you went,
we have specific blues, or specific. I tell you what, actually, versions of the song. You mean we did the Seagull song outside the Coliseum in Rome.
Oh yeah.
And that was unreal
That's
because that it was the height of summer. That place is mobbed and it was just basking, but it ended up being a gig. Well, it must have
So
been
many people.
30, 40 people.
It lasted about 10 minutes because
The
police told us to stop. Yeah,
Oh,
which is unfortunate. It was really funny actually.
But for that 15 minutes, that version of the bird song
True.
was very special. Yeah.
that is a fantastic transition
You segued
into
amazing.
because
Which brings us to our
I've been
next
watching
topic.
this
You
enough.
segue better than me and James ever had on this podcast. We have never been able to segue as well as you've just done now.
Yeah.
in fact I ruined the segue by mentioning that it was a
We are now
segue.
entering the segue.
We're now transitioning.
Yeah.
There and back to it. No.
So obviously, if people want more insight into these, there are lots of fantastic vlogs that they have made. Go watch them.
Great
They'll be
content.
linked.
Phenomenal.
They'll be linked
content.
everywhere.
Cheers.
Well, that's
When does
Sorry, that was better. Really good.
so first of all, where does that come from? Because obviously by that point you've probably known each other less than a year. Is this something you slowly discussed, or one day did you just go, let's go on a European tour, bish bash bosh?
The traveling?
That
No,
is
it
a
was
tale.
Oh.
Well, we kind of had some major realizations about our own place in the universe and all that hippie shit. And as soon as we realised we had agency over our own life, you probably maybe would word this differently to me, I don't know. But we realised that we could just do anything that we want to do, and we want to spread the vibrations and everything, all our philosophies that have ramped up in the last, at that point, was it 6 months? We just kind of realised that we can just travel and just go do that and go busk. But it was a sort of a process that got to the idea of doing
That's class.
It was so we've been busking in Falmouth, and it was unreal. It was the first sort of thing, it was a very unique thing to have experienced at first, and we were right, well, we can just do this anywhere.
Yeah.
It's difficult to explain because it was long important process of us realizing this idea that we really want to.
Yeah, have that.
I don't know, in the same way that you guys like record your podcast in here and then you took it to Penryn campus one time.
Which we
need
wanting to do more.
Yeah, I should do. That's good.
Not
Weird
just
and
campus,
interesting
just
shit.
everywhere. Anywhere
Exactly,
you can,
anywhere
just
you can,
Pop up a
just
camera
because
and
it's
have a
Gilly
little-
Beach podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like we said,
swamp.
this idea of like this idea of pushing out like positive vibrations in the same way that the butterfly effect works. Like if you actively make those vibrations, we were doing that. We realized we were doing that in Falmouth. I'm like, well, how can we take it further? You know.
Yeah. Originally we were gonna busk to Paris. That was our original goal.
Yeah.
But then a friend of ours told about the Interrail thing. We're like, well, fuck it, we'll just do that.
So what is the Interrail thing for those who might not know,
It's
including
just
me? I was like, can I get away with that? I don't know.
In case no one knows what we're talking about, weed!
Well, you should all do it for one.
do it. It's just it's a ticket that can get you on any train in Europe.
Oh wow.
So you can
Wait,
literally
what?
just buy a ticket,
Yeah.
bish bash bosh the entirety of Europe.
You get
Like local
one.
trains.
So what we did was we got a month-long ticket, and we were in Newbury, which is where I live, and we went to London, and we just went up to the people at the desk and we said like, right, we've got this ticket, just get us out of the country wherever we can get us to Amsterdam, Paris, Brussels. So,
I remember that as part of the blog, I think.
yeah, the closest, the quickest we could get out was Brussels, so it can get us, it got us on the Eurostar, but it can get you on local trains as well, which is what we were doing. So
Because that's completely free. With like Eurostar bullet trains, you got to pay extra on top of the ticket. So we had dirt broke anyway. So we got all the. But some of our journeys would be like 40 hours long.
yeah,
So like it wouldn't feel like anything by the end because you'd be so used to like the monotony of the train journey. They wouldn't feel like anything.
40 hours. We travelled through the whole of Austria. Didn't
Yeah,
just stopping stopping in really really random little towns in like France and Spain. Like we were in the middle of nowhere in so many places. Like sleeping in
Surviving
train
off
stations.
biscuits,
And yeah, it was.
begging for water, sleeping in bushes.
So that was going to be my next question. Like, did you? I think I know the answer. There was no like, right, we'll go here and then we'll go here. It was just we'll go here. Where can we go?
Yeah,
more
we
than
kind
where
of
we
would.
want
We'd
to.
plan a few days in advance towards the end, wouldn't we? We'd be like, okay, well, we want to get. We really wanted to get to Bulgaria. Was our original plan because a friend of ours was out there, but that failed. But that was kind of like our distant goal. So we were just seeing where we could pop along. We had ideas of where we wanted to go. None of it happened. It was all completely different, which is how it has to be. Any kind of experience, I would say, if you want to have an adventure, by the real meaning of the word, it has to come organically. Like you can't have an adventure if it's completely
Planned out and structured.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't even know where we'd be staying the day we arrived in any city.
No, we just walk around the city looking for the cheapest hotel.
Did
or
you say
hostel.
like hostels and?
Mostly.
Hostels, bushes, train stations.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had to sleep
One
in
bush.
one bush.
It was a good bush actually.
Was that the worst place you?
Not even.
Nah, the
What?
worst place was probably a
Couple of horror
Somewhere
stories
worse
would be
than a
great.
bush.
Yeah.
We want some. Let's have
Yeah,
some
we,
deep,
we,
like.
we want some goss, some
I
drama.
slept on a window ledge in an Italian train station,
Yeah.
and this really, that thing that they say if somebody's staring at you while you're asleep, it'll wake you up. I was like quite flat out. There's like a gift shop. There's like quite a wide window ledge, and I was sleeping on there. And then I woke up to felt somebody staring at me. There's this really like drunk Italian guy. It was so weird. And he was
really
like, we can understand Italian. I can understand. He speaks it better than me. I can understand it. But he was like, we told him where we were going. He was like trying to convince us not to go to Rome. He was like, don't go to
He
Rome.
was like,
Naples
Rome,
good.
no good.
Venice good. Rome no good.
No good.
We're like, what the fuck? So
And then this other dude trying to lure us into an abandoned train carriage, which is really weird.
It was dodgy.
That was a weird day. That was Ventimiglia, wasn't it? Ventimiglia?
Ventimiglia,
Don't go to Ventimiglia at night.
I was like on the border.
I can say I was not planning.
I was like, shit, I'm doing that tomorrow, and you ruined it.
Yeah, that's it.
So
That was the next Fraser Oliver video. I was going to plan at 39. I was going to do our podcast.
You
and you
actually have to
ruined
do
it now.
that. You got to get your way
He's
to
got to get
Ventimiglia.
there, yeah.
That'd be a great mad video.
You know what,
As we
actually, I don't know where it is, to be fair. So I think
It was on the
border
coast,
of
wasn't it?
Monaco and
We just got through Monaco.
We could do that.
Well, Ventimiglia is Italian
It's nice.
20 miles, so it's 20 miles away from something.
It was
We created the Danish Book Club's tour with podcasts.
You should, because
Oh,
every
that'd be
spot.
Podcast outside the Eiffel Tower.
No, that is if we were to do that, we'd have to do like
landmark. Like
this is the landmark.
Yeah.
Whack the camera.
Maybe we could see the Eiffel Tower behind us as we're sat on our little
imagine
fold-out camping chairs.
That'd be great.
That place is crazy, by the way.
Paris, yeah.
Does it live up? Because this was another one of my questions. Does like all of the, I guess, landmarky things live up to the hype that obviously like the Colosseum, Eiffel Tower? These things are like massive.
Yeah, I was saying this every time. It's like when you meet somebody that's been to the same city as you, it's like, oh, you've been to Venice. Oh, it's nice, isn't it? But like, you can't. It's like always down to the experience.
Completely.
Always. So like we went to San Sebastian, which is like not very well known city, but we had like the best time. So I love that city because I had the most amazing time there. But like I wouldn't be able to tell you because you'd have to go and make up your own mind, you know. Yeah. For sure.
Which makes sense. Same as like when you try to explain Falmouth to your friends at home, it's hard to explain. Oh, it's just a coastal town in Cornwall, but there's like magic here that you can only really feel if you're like here experiencing it. It's like that. Like Paris. We both kind of found we didn't really like the Paris vibe because people could walk all over you.
I've heard I've heard quite a few bad things about Paris.
Sure, but like again, that's just whoever told you that is their experience, and I can only tell you, like you said, I can tell you my experience. Some people have the most amazing time of their life in Paris, but I can have the most amazing time I want like around the corner if I want to. So it's not about the place.
In a bush.
In a bush, yeah.
Whenever I've gone to Paris, which is about 2 times, it's very much very pretty, very famous.
Yeah.
But I don't know that there's. You could compare it to something like, you know, I've been to Paris and then I've done about a couple of years ago to Budapest in Hungary.
Nice.
There's less like your classic thing. There's no like, oh my god, it's the motherfucking Eiffel Tower. But there's more of just like a vibe. Is the wrong word, but the best word I could use.
It's completely the right word. I feel like if you're going. The thing with like landmarks like that, if you are going just to look at a thing, you kind of like, I feel like you're missing the point in a way. Like I would love to visit Budapest and places like that where there's like more, you know, it's about the people there, about the like culture and stuff. Like exactly.
That's why you gotta stay at hostels and like meet.
Yeah, we met so many incredible people like staying at hostels and like
friends,
busking
people who
and bumping into
hopefully will be lifelong friends. They're like everyone's kind of flaky, but we'll have to see them. People who we. I said, oh, we'll be friends forever. And then, I don't know, things always come up.
So, what I'd quite like is both in terms of music, which you might have already given us, and in terms of without the music, highlight. What is your music highlight, which might obviously be the Italian one, and what was the non-musical highlight?
You mean that on the trip?
On the trip.
Okay.
So something that stood out on the trip. There wasn't anything to do with the way you bust or anything like that, but something that happened, you're like, that was cool.
And then
what happened when you were busking?
You go first.
Well, I think, I think we both share like what our favourite part of the trip was.
No, what is it?
Well, I don't know.
Such confidence about
Probably Reba would be my favourite part of the trip.
Yeah.
In terms of the we spent like about 4
I don't
days
like
there.
choosing favourites.
No, I know, but like in terms of like that's where everything sort of came together and felt like this is actually
Go to kick off.
Yeah, that was more like Reba was where everything sort of came together in my head. It was like, oh, I've gained a lot of wisdom from this trip, because that was Reba is in Denmark, not Norway. It's the oldest town in Scandinavia, and we went there because by the time we got to Copenhagen, we were just kind of sick of cities, because you go to so many cities, and it's like, oh, this is a city, that people on bikes, the traffic lights sound a bit different in each place, like, it's the same place really. But in Reba, it was like, I couldn't describe you what was there, because it's not only about what was there. Again, there's
actually nothing there.
Exactly, but that's why it's down to the experience, like we said. We spent a lot of time just being very calm and peaceful, and stuff I couldn't really go into because I sound like a complete hippie trippy bastard. But like,
I love that phrase, hippie trippy bastard. I enjoyed the melody in there. I know. That's like lip hippie trippy bastard. That was great.
Hippie trippy bastard.
Maybe that is a Danish Book Club song.
Hippie trippy bastard. Yeah. That's where we slept in the bush in Reba.
Yeah, and that was great because we slept in a bush, and then next morning.
I want to know the logistics of sleeping at like
the logistics.
No, like, did you sleep? Was there like
concave bush?
We slept in a specifically concave bush.
It was like against like a fence.
Railing, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna like crawl like
Got
under it, a little bit of cover from every side.
Yeah.
Got
It was on a
okay.
field and it was quite comfy.
Was it like one of those last resorts where like we have to sleep
Yeah.
somewhere, we don't know where we're sleeping?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
There's
was
the
no
bush
room
that
at
looks
the hostel.
okay, let's...
Yeah.
We were there
Or
for
actually
4
tried
nights.
hostels and there was just
We were
no...
there for 4 nights. The hostel had us for the first night, and then they had no room for the second night, so we slept in the bush, and then we slept in the hostel for the next 2 nights.
That's right.
But it worked out because in the morning, this lovely Danish lady saw us sleeping in the bush, and she said, were you sleeping in the bush? She said, yeah.
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 Yeah, we were.
You just got to be honest, you know, you can't...
Yeah, she was like, it's a nice
God.
bush. I think she'd slept in there herself.
Yeah.
She was like,
We
Can
should-
recommend.
She was annoyed with it, that's my bush!
Damn it, bush!
but she invited us over for breakfast actually, and,
Oh, that's
her and her husband were sculptors, so we went into their house and they just had like these
Oh wow,
nice.
amazing. Disney film, that's
sculptures
amazing.
all
Oh,
over
yeah.
the house. And then they let us borrow their bikes, and we were like cycling through the Danish suburbs all day.
Yeah,
Oh,
really
wow.
got to the
Really nice,
Atlantic
yeah.
coast.
Yeah, all the way down there. It
That's
was really, really
amazing.
nice. So it worked out actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, adventure. That's where
Well, I guess it's
adventure
that
comes
thing
from.
where like everything. Again, I don't want to sound hippie trippy bastard. There's something like if something happens on one of those trips that you think this is bad,
Yeah.
something good will come. Like
It will.
something happening. Like if you didn't sleep in that bush, you wouldn't have cycled round.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
That
it's
was
like
so nice.
yeah.
Yeah, we actually just never complained because we just knew that we didn't want to.
Mm.
You know, we didn't want to have a bad time, so we just didn't.
Just
Like
didn't.
things weren't working out for us. Like we actually got on the wrong train and we ended up all the way north of Denmark, and we were so far away from where we needed to be. We were so lost, but we kind of just
It's like, oh,
actually
back
just
we go.
laughed about it. And you lost your ukulele.
I lost my ukulele.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did we ever find the ukulele?
Well,
Did we get it back?
yeah, I managed to get it back. I contacted the Danish police because they're in charge of lost and found because they don't have anything else to do. No one commits crimes in Denmark, I guess.
No one.
And yeah, it got delivered back to me. But that was a stressful, brief encounter.
My
I
God.
was just thinking. I don't think the way you're talking about how you two were on this trip. I don't think we could do it because we would be.
I
At least
would
I
love
would
to
be
see it.
so like stressed and up. Like
But I think
they're so
if-
chill. We'd be like fucking shit. I'm not saying, but this is a fucking nightmare. You're sleeping. I'm not sleeping in a fucking bush.
I think if we did it for content and allowed ourselves to be human,
Yeah, because I would not be calm. I'm not sleeping in a shrub, dickhead. Like,
there would be no calm vibes.
no. You're like, oh yeah, I'll sleep on a windowsill. I'm not sleeping on a windowsill. Fuck
Oh,
off.
you should.
Get me a bed,
I would
okay?
pay to have you guys do that. I'd pay
We
for you to do this.
recreated
Yeah.
your thoughts.
That'd be great.
Oh my
Oh, this feels very
Content.
self-indulgent, guys. We're talking so much about us.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not us.
There was no
Right.
chance we were ever talking about us on this podcast.
I don't think so. Did you go on the trip with any sort of like budget, or was it like you had the ticket? That's all you had.
Yeah, well, we both worked,
We worked in the
for
summer.
the whole.
Okay.
We left in July and we both just worked for June, basically.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my question would be, with one of my, I quite like food. So like, if I went to these
Yeah.
European cities, if
Yeah.
I'm in Paris, I'm trying like a French croissant. I'm sorry,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love croissants. I'm
Yeah.
trying. But did you do like
No.
A bit.
because that would be my like if I'm going to European cities, I'm trying like a cultural like I want to try food
Yeah.
made in
I
the
think
places.
we limit ourselves to one nice meal a city.
Okay, cool.
So.
In that case, my
Yeah,
question then would be
because
what
I'm
was
a
the
fat
best-
bastard.
Yeah, look,
What's
we,
your favourite
we clearly
restaurant?
both quite
What's
like
your favourite
food.
restaurant?
Oh, damn! Good question. Best meal we
You
had.
Yeah.
can you can
And-
list
and-
as many of them out because I'm
and-
happy to be hungry for
Right.
it.
There it is. I swear on my life.
I go to Pizza Express tonight, so make me hungry.
I think about these every day. In Reba, there was this
Oh, yeah.
waffle
The
place. Oh my god, it was so.
Don't think
just-
I'm trying to watch a love waffle.
it was like a warm waffle.
Back yourself.
It's like a
like I just said.
Back yourself
With,
in sound.
Like it's obviously
It
it's
is- it
impossible
really is,
to
I can
describe
see
it,
it.
but it was just a waffle with ice cream,
Oh.
soft ice, so good. That was like a
Oh.
pudding.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
The Pinchos in San Sebastian.
Yeah, our friends bought.
What?
We met these.
I'm like they said it.
James,
Your
like-
mouth said it.
Enough said. Pinchos are great.
We are
That
so
works for anything.
uncultured.
No, I never heard of them
We
either.
don't know.
It's like tapas. Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
okay.
tapas but in the north. The specific. But we wouldn't have paid for that, you see, it's too expensive. But we made friends with this guy who works for Instagram, who was like loaded. He
Works for Instagram.
Yeah.
He told us all their secrets.
All the secrets. Everything you think that is about Instagram is all true. Like
Insider secrets on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Let's get a clip out of here, right?
Yeah, who signed an NDA?
Maybe not. I don't
Exposing
know.
Instagram.
I think we are. I think the world should know.
He's listening actually.
Yeah, he
right
probably
now.
is.
Yeah,
No doubt.
Yeah.
Ralph, shout out to Ralph.
You got like a thing here.
Fuck, shout out to.
You're gonna beat his name. You're gonna get us.
Don't listen in, Zuckerberg.
You've got like a little lapel mic on listening.
Yeah,
Like a wire.
Actually, like a red.
You
like,
always
laces
wear
coming
it
down
though,
my
yeah.
chest now.
Yeah.
We just see out that window.
Yeah, it's like a.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but he was cool.
I guess I'm still staying on food because I'm really hungry now. Was there a food that you tried and you didn't like? You maybe enjoyed it, just not as much as you thought you would.
No, well, there was this. We found a Lidl in Denmark.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I made me laugh.
It was humorous, I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. It's not just me.
We like went into the bakery and there was this like.
This ball on the inside, like the whole of a donut.
Yeah, it was like this like chocolate sprinkles.
Sounds nice, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Chocolate
just
sprinkled
like a
donut thing.
chocolate ball.
Yes, please.
And it tasted like washing up powder,
Yeah.
like
Really
fairy liquid. It was
Oh,
disgusting.
That's right.
So weird. I don't even know what it was.
I
don't
do
know.
love a little bakery though. I have to back you on that. A
Yeah,
toffee
yeah.
yum yum is where it's at.
Generally, yeah.
From
Yeah, it was good.
from my many foreign travels,
Yes.
going back to Hungary, in a Lidl bakery there. I'm not sure if it's exact. No, I think it was a Lidl. What they came up with, what I think is the best invention ever, like a sausage roll type vibe, but instead of sausage meat, it's like a thick bolognese in a pastry sausage roll.
I had something
and
very
it's
similar to that in
genuinely quality.
Tunisia, and I was like, I don't know what this
Tunisia?
is, but it's the greatest thing I've ever had.
Yeah, he's rich.
I'm not. I'm not.
What's that got to do with going to Tunisia?
I think Tunisia particularly rich. North Africa, isn't it?
Hanging out with the sheikhs.
It
Went
was
to Tunisia.
That's what I said. That's our travel
The
plan
cocaine
ideas
mango, yeah.
of us going somewhere. So like we flew to Ireland just to get a Guinness. Like
It's like
going
classic,
to somewhere
like-
and literally purely
Yeah.
just
Oh,
to
wow.
try whatever.
That's
we
what
went
we
to
want to
Paris
do.
and had a croissant.
Oh,
Like
right.
literally, that's like
Those would be
Ah.
that'd be fantastic
Oh,
bits
there
of
are
content.
I thought
reason
you
of
were
going
saying
there
that
is
you
to-
guys did actually fly to
We want to, like, cause
Oh, yeah,
just like
good.
go
But
somewhere.
imagine how
with
funny
the
that would
sole
be.
intent of
You
literally
you
sit
go,
down, even if it's like the airport,
Guinness,
just like
fuck back
go to
off.
like an authentic Irish pub, have a Guinness.
Nice.
Fuck off. That's our trick
Yeah,
time.
that's
Just
a
back
good
in
joke.
2 days.
It would just
we'll-
be jokes.
Yeah, it would be so funny.
I like that.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Yeah, do it.
They say Guinness doesn't travel well, don't they? Like
Yeah, they said that Irish
is in
Guinness
no
is
place.
just. And
Yeah.
but I love a Guinness. Like I just love a Guinness anyway. So an Irish
Yeah.
Guinness.
I actually want to go to like proper like Guinness like
Oh,
fact
damn.
of
Oh
like
yeah. In,
I think it's a mad video. No?
Where is
there is a
I
mad
think it's
video in
in
that. Content?
Content.
Oh, bloody
There you go. You spoke about.
Sorry, the content archive. Ready.
I was going to say you see dollar signs, but we don't get paid.
Never
Not yet.
will.
And you get some sponsoring on this one of these days.
Oh, can you imagine?
Rubicon.
Oh, fuck off! No, you bottled it, Rubicon. I know actually what I kind of
Yeah,
did.
no.
Oh yeah.
they sent
We will
it.
take your money.
Well, aren't you going to be? I thought you tried different drinks each episode. Or you ditched
We've
that now?
started to slowly. The problem is, how do I put this nicely?
The problem.
It's not we don't care about that thing. It's just like
it's the
very
difference
difficult.
between like, for example, like obviously sometimes you'll get a drink for like £1. Sometimes like it can be like £4 or £5 an episode, and it's like it doesn't add much, and sometimes just became a
It
hassle.
started
Yeah.
as like
Yeah.
because we used to do it at the student accommodation. It used to be. We'd walking home from uni, we'd stop in the campus shop and pick
Yeah.
up a drink just while we were doing
Yeah.
it, just because we wanted to not run out of drink.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to a point where we were like, oh, we're doing a podcast, we can't do that until we've gone to get a drink.
What podcast?
Spending £5 on a drink that wasn't like, it was like this is.
Yeah.
So now it's like if we see a drink, like I was in Asda, I saw it was like a limited edition flavour of Coke. I was like, sure, we'll pick that up. It was like £1 for 4 cans. I was like, sure, we'll try it. So it's more if we see something, we'll try it.
Sure.
If someone goes, oh, you should try this drink, I'll go, yeah, okay, we'll get it on and try it. But it's not,
Yeah.
we don't want to restrict ourselves to do it every episode because it's.
It's making Le Pod just be more of a wanting
Le
to, you know.
That's how confident we are.
The podcast.
Le podcast.
It's doing it.
Le Mediocre and best.
It's like when we do like a tier list of like random bits
That's
of
right,
food.
though. Yeah.
No one else might care. We just kind of we more just these days do the things we want to do.
We might just sort of rotate,
yeah.
the drink, when we were doing that, drink something for like the first 10, 15 minutes, that was good fun. Started to like fun, I might bin it off then. Now we do this like tier list of any like chocolate bars, biscuits, like roast dinner, like that's the so I think,
how many episodes are you in?
This is our 38th, we believe, unless we completely fuck.
Unless we bottled it. But 38, 39, it's around the late 30s.
Nearly half of those now have been in this house just because of the weekly uploads.
It's
given us some consistency.
It would literally get to like a month between podcasts and I'd be like, one of us would message me and you probably did a podcast at some point. Whereas now it's like, it has to be up Sunday. So we have to do it, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get
it. But in a good way, because it's
in a good way.
Yeah,
it forces us to.
I'm waiting, you know. I'm refreshing your.
I'm sure if we needed a week off.
And you said it's mental to you how like people want you to play at their thing. People want to come and see.
Yeah,
you.
it is.
It's mental to think that people are sat there waiting like, oh, Mab's up,
Yeah.
right?
I love it, mate.
When I look at the views on Mab, and I'm like. This many, like 40 people have thought I want to watch this. Like what? Why?
Like I love it because I just find it fascinating watching you two just like ramble. Like I just think it's
just
great.
the tangents.
Yeah, but it's just like I feel like I'm in the room with you. So.
We've been talking about the life plan of Mab, and I think we should stick to this. The 1,000 life lessons of Mab.
Yeah.
Well, we get to an episode 1,000, which bear in mind, you know, obviously we might move away from weekly if we're not living together anymore. Eventually, we could be 60, 70, 80. I've released 1,000 episode of Mab.
Like 50-year-old James and Fraser. Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 998 of the Media
That sounds like a
Mag.
dystopian horror film.
That's all we do.
Welcome to episode 950.
I'm James the Dirty Brit Skinner.
Yeah.
We've got just a pint of water for our drink segment.
Yeah.
But I feel like what's got a lovely ring to it is the 1,000 life lessons of Mab.
So what's the life lesson of this episode?
Back yourself.
Back yourself.
Back yourself.
If you
Maybe
want to do something, do it. And the energies that you put out into the world.
Yes, you got it.
We're clapping ourselves.
Back yourself.
Back yourself.
See, maybe that should be on the segment we do now. At the end of each episode, we go, what's the lessons we learned? There we go.
We got a new segment.
At the end of every podcast, we go, what have we learned today?
Sponsored by the Danish Book.
Yes, there we go.
We'll come in at the end of each one. And today's life lesson from...
That was amazing.
Stood up like...
Stood up with 4 other people and just clapping
Ourselves and a Canon camera.
But yeah, you got it. It was nice to hear.
Hearing you say it was cool. He's like, oh, we're not just spouting shit then. Because sometimes I get self-conscious about how they could tricky bastard.
Yeah,
You know,
No, but I think that's what like makes it.
Because that's what I was saying. It resonated. That's why I said it, because it resonated.
Oh,
especially a lot of stuff about energies.
Great. Yeah, take it on, man.
And the fact that you said, like giving vibration, like that sort of positive, just like it's just we're waffling to ourselves in a camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, I listen to podcasts. I listen to like 5 different podcasts.
There you go.
And I like it because it feels like there's someone else, like having to have a chat with us. I'm not talking, but yeah, it's just.
It influences the way you do it,
Exactly. And just because you're putting it out there, it's nice to hear that you're on board with it, because like you said, it really does sometimes feel like we're just chatting absolute waffle.
Yeah. And you know what's also funny is that this is an example of it. Because
we've
been talking about it, and then that's passed on to you guys. We're gonna go. You know, that influences. We're doing it right now.
Yeah.
It's happening.
You're always doing it.
You're always doing it.
Back yourself.
Back yourself.
No, just
go back yourself.
That could be. Go back yourself.
Back yourself.
Fuck off and don't come back to me.
That's what the episode's called. Episode 38. Go back yourself.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
So why the Danish Book Club?
Yeah.
Let's
go on a journey. Yeah, because
I saw you guys the other
journey.
day.
Come on.
Let's go on a journey.
I saw you guys the other day, right? Didn't I?
This is starting to take the piss.
But it's gonna happen.
One more tattoo lorry.
One more fucking Noah's Ark comes strolling through.
And you asked me to talk about how we got the name.
Yeah.
No.
No?
It's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's like you just have to.
You just don't know where it came from.
No, we know exactly where it came from.
It's convoluted. We talk about how the trip was like a proper life-changing thing. Like, genuinely did learn get a lot of wisdom from it. And for me, the Danish Book Club name came parallel to that that way of thinking, so it's just
Yeah.
too much to explain.
Because I know you had one of your vlogs is called like Becoming the Danish Book Club. Do you explain it in that, or is that
No.
much more of like a?
It's just where we were.
Yeah,
we
like-
were in Denmark, obviously.
Yeah.
You see us in the vlog going, oh, we are now changing our name to Danish Book Club.
Yeah,
Right,
because,
okay.
yeah. Obviously, I would love to explain it, particularly here. It would be a good place to do it, but like,
Thanks, guys.
it really just wouldn't make sense.
I get
Yeah.
that.
No, I get.
There's
this.
also
It's
a few-
kind of just in here.
It would
I
also
guess you kind of
maybe-
don't want people to think about it too much. It's like.
Yeah, you can think about it all you want. It's just the fact
Well,
that I think power is taken away from it when it's explained because it means a lot to me and to you, and it never will mean what it means to you guys,
Yeah.
what it means to us. So it would be sort of a waste. It wouldn't mean anything to explain it to other people, if you know what I mean.
Same way. Well, how'd you get the name for Mediocre at best?
It was
this
it was kind of a running joke, wasn't it?
What? So
Because
the
we-
whole
Yeah.
podcast started because me and James would be sat.
It's,
whether we
it's
were
the
drunk
classic.
or whatever, yeah.
It's the classic trope of two guys have an interesting conversation and go.
but it kind of
This would be a great
It
podcast.
kind of got to the point where we were having these conversations though, and would go off to tangents, just make each other laugh, bounce
Yeah.
off each other, and go, "This is too funny." Like
Yeah.
not like.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be.
We
fun.
are so fucking funny.
We are hysterical. And then the name is just like we don't want to call it something pretentious. Like we just thought. What we want to call it something that people know what they're getting. If we call
Yeah.
it mediocre at best,
Yeah.
It's a good name.
they're not going to expect anything.
'Cause it's true.
Massive, because we just sit and waffle about whatever we want. It's mediocre. Like it is.
We're
mediocre.
backing ourselves.
We're backing
It's
ourselves.
enjoyable.
Back
Yeah.
yourself.
But
It is mediocre at best.
we are never going to break new ground.
No. We're not. But like, it's not like a revolutionary idea
Yeah.
for two guys to sit on a sofa and chat about whatever stuff is good. Like that's
We
not
just
a
do our own
revolutionary
thing.
thing.
If it's shite, it's shite. If it's
Yeah.
great, it's great.
You do have your own niche though. Like it does work.
Because it's not particularly planned. I don't think we've ever recorded something and specifically gone. We might have taken it out for other reasons, but we've never gone. That was shite. We can't.
Oh no,
release
the only
that."
reason we cut things is if it's because we've mentioned a name that we can't mention.
Or just a silly
or
joke
just
that's a
something
bit
that's
far.
an inside joke that might be too
Right.
far, but we never go, that was shit, no,
Yeah.
let it out. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Who are they to, like, it's
But it's very raw because, like, not to like overanalyze, but the reason why I've enjoyed watching episodes of the show is because it's kind of a slow burn.
show?
It's a show, I never thought it was a show.
Okay, the podcast.
No,
The mediocre at best show.
Play that, yeah. I guess. Whatever.
With your host, James.
That's how we introduce the next episode now. Because we're backing up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Go back.
It becomes the show. But no, what was I even?
The reason you.
Oh yeah, the reason why I caught on for it for a while was because you get invested into the way that the two of you kind of think. Because like I think it's almost like a case study, like a social experiment. The more you watch,
We are.
yeah, in a way, because the more you watch of it, the more you kind
Yeah.
of like. Get invested into the way you speak and your opinions on things, you know, very opinionated. And then, it's true,
Yeah.
you know,
I like it.
And then you get addicted to that, like getting addicted to little thing that goes, oh, I thought they were going to do that, and they did. Like I don't know, that's
Because
good.
Yeah, exactly. That.
it's just this general YouTube-y and the podcasting space where I'm interested in the way you say that because let's face it, obviously if I compare like my own personal like presenting videos to this to life, it's kind of that gap of going, this is life, this is like very different to me, and then the podcast kind of like a middle where you do kind of you're a little bit of a caricature occasionally because humorous purposes and just general
Sure.
I
personas.
think that's, like the presenter, it's almost like, it is almost like a middle ground. Almost like a go-between of like, I'm not 100% real. I'm not 100% real on anything I do on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
no one's 100% real on any social media. That's just not
Sure,
true.
yeah.
Sure.
But this is, I think this is the closest I'd ever get to being my true self on camera, just because it's like,
Not in a way that you want to be and you're not.
oh no, more
Yeah.
like, I think it's just, let's be honest, I don't think I'd be entertaining enough if I was just my true self. Like, I think that's true, but like, I don't think there's enough. People watch because it's an exaggerated, ridiculous.
Yes.
In a way,
Sometimes you've got to
present-
shout at
it's like a
something when you
presentation.
don't really care.
Oh yeah, like I'm not. some things we talk about, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
But I
I'm
will
not
shout
there going, goat's cheese is fucking dreadful, but
it's
like,
like
I don't care.
that lorry drives past. It's not that deep.
Yeah.
But it's when to go, fuck off! Like, it's not like I don't care that a
That's
lorry's driven
interesting
past,
to
it's a
hear.
road. Like,
Yeah, for sure. It's like.
And
but
to be
it's
fair-
funny to shout it.
And sometimes the timing on that was perfect. You bastard.
Good one. Prick.
But then again, sometimes to be fair,
That was authentic. I was just saying it, he fucking did it.
and sometimes genuinely we will be in like this kitchen just being incredibly stupid and probably very podcasty.
Very bad, yeah.
Almost, I think the opposite has sometimes happened where the podcasters sometimes influence us to be more podcasty within
Yeah.
our lives.
Well, it's
But
like
I know sometimes I'll just be a bit more mental.
yeah, well, like it was even in sessions when on our course, people that know I do YouTube and watch videos would be like, that was very Fraser Oliver presenter mode, and I was like, was it? Like I'll do acting, and they'll be like, you went into your Fraser Oliver like presenting voice,
Yeah,
and I was like,
I get that.
shit, it's all starting to murder
Oh
my.
shit.
Who am I?
After imitating life. Who knows what's what?
That was a fucking double decker 3/4. Jesus Christ.
Should we just sit in silence until the next thing comes
Yeah,
by?
just-
Oh, we did that one.
Get ready to shout at it.
Oh my god.
But it's I don't know how this has transitioned into a conversation
Yeah,
about
well, you
the
tricked us to talk about
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, not you.
But it's like it's bringing the positive, but and just having fun within ourselves. Having our own little segments.
Like the drink when we do it, the drinks.
And even being more specific within like little niches of it. Like let's face it, as everyone will know, we for example, we'll bully Jess on the podcast, and then it'll be like
We'll
let's
mention
face it.
KTC Partner Shepherd, or
like-
like you will go, oh thank you Matt and Ben for like.
And it's like these little
Inside
fun
jokes.
character things that people get and people are happy with and people understand, and it's
It's
you
almost
know,
like,
what we want to do.
we're making enough inside jokes that the people that get it will be like, ah, good.
Yeah.
But we don't just like fill it to the brim with inside jokes so that
Oh.
we can't. Yeah.
But it's that balance of we won't fill it to the brim so much that it's inaccessible, but then we won't spoon feed people who don't get it
Yeah.
because we don't want to.
Yeah, makes sense. That's with most shows, like the more it goes, like more podcasts. I shouldn't be
No,
calling.
keep calling it a show. It
Keep
really
calling it a
helps
show.
my
Yeah.
ego.
It's kind of like its own law, like
Yeah,
you've got your
exactly.
own little mediocre at best law.
Yeah.
Mediocre best law.
It's gonna be a canon soon.
Yeah, but it works. It works. It's good.
Episode 22 isn't canon because it's actually a clip from episode 30.
Oh
Oh, there we go.
God.
That's an inside. Oh my god, the plot thickens.
No, that's too
Yeah.
much for me, man. Too much for me. How's it going?
I can't look at.
No,
No,
it's
that's
still-
23:52.
Thank you, James.
Smashing the bloody
Well
game.
done. I don't know how you tricked to talk about us.
I knew it
Not
would be
having that.
eventually. Podcast.
The thing is,
about
we're both so
podcasts.
egotistical. We just take it like we were like fish. We were like, okay, I'll talk about us. Well, all right,
You were like
then.
fish who could swim. Grab the
Hey! Ba-da-ba-da-da-da.
It's all come full
But
circle.
I just feel like we talked so much about the whole this thing that it got quite self-indulgent on our part.
Yeah,
which I get conscious of that.
To be fair, I get that, like talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
I did really well. I got James to interview me, like doing a harsh, like, honest interview. And part of that, I was like,
I like
this is
that.
just me.
I
Like,
like that. Though.
What I've said is I would never put that on my own channel. I'm happy to do one about me on the Mab channel.
so look out, watch this.
Because I feel like that's going back to that point of like trying to be authentic occasionally. Like sometimes just like putting out positivity and a couple of jokes is good in the world. Sometimes going,
Being
you know
honest
what,
and-
there are some struggles. This is kind of what goes on. It's okay. You're vaguely normal if you go through some of that stuff as well.
But I think
Bish slash
I
bloody
think
bosh.
there are moments on the podcast where we will just not plan. Well, I say not plan. We don't plan anything. The most plan we do is we write down a couple notes from things in the week.
Yeah.
And even with YouTube, the most plan we do is like roughly have some sort of an outline. of
What
we-
do we vaguely want
Yeah.
to
Ah,
watch?
you've
we
done your
don't-
research. Though. You've done your good
we didn't-
research.
Even though I don't really do a lot of like, I know I saw like your Instagram, I saw like a lot of stuff. So yeah, like planning, but without plan, we will just sometimes go a bit deep and be like, anyway, good fun. Like just then sort of
Yeah.
go straight back into our jokey caricature. So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
It's strange.
it works. It works.
So I want to know.
Here we go. Here we
Let's
go.
go back to you.
What do you want to know?
Talk to me. What can I do for you?
Because what's interested me is obviously I'm not saying this in a way of like you don't have any plans, but it very much seems like you're kind of on a road. What happens happens. I loved that. So what's the plan?
The plan.
If there is a plan, or
For the Danish Book.
Yeah.
or at least if there isn't a plan, is there a goal? Is there a
Sure.
you know what? If we get there or that happens, I'll be bloody happy.
Well,
Yeah.
the first thing about that is I think we're there, because like the fact that everything we're doing right now is like where I want to be. Anything that further comes from it will be where I want to be when that comes. Too.
That's it.
Well,
That's such a good way to look
That
at
is-
it.
that-
Like,
that's
that's,
so- yeah,
like, if I am where I want to be, if something else happens, good, I'll be in the moment there. That's such a great way.
Same way that it's always been. We will start busking, and in a year we've ended up at the Eden Project. We will just keep following it. You know, like we're giving it little kicks of like we'll work on this little thing. We're working on stuff now. We always are.
We were saying the other day, it's like all this has come about from us just like letting it happen to us. What if we gave a little sprinkle of like the kicks, like you
work,
said, like actually doing it, and
it-
who knows? Yeah.
We're enjoying ourselves so much. So if it works out, which it is, you know.
It was working out when no one was listening, you know.
Now, yeah.
I love it. I love that.
It's just
Just
whatever
positivity all the way through.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
just
I
whatever
love it.
happens.
Yeah.
And I'll look forward to. Yeah, it's like that's.
You know what? I said to my mum,
Shout
Shout
out!
Shout out to Rachel.
Subscribe to the pod. Fraser's battery's dying.
That's all right.
when I first started it, like
Time's running out,
when I first started performing, she was like, in fact, we had to sign a contract for one of these things early, and she was like, make sure you don't sign your life away. So I was like, right, I won't. But basically, I said to her, like, if I ever don't have fun with this anymore, then I will stop doing it. You know,
Mhm.
and that's the most important thing to me. If I'm not enjoying it, then I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. But that goes for the same with anything.
I was gonna say,
actually.
I felt that sometimes with like doing YouTube. Like, if you're not enjoying it, I will stop doing. Like, I'm not gonna do it if I'm not enjoying it. What's the point? Like,
that's kind of like life.
But it is easier said than done.
'Cause
Because
at the
some
end-
people do things in their life that they're not enjoying because they're stuck in the pit.
but I guess at the end of the day, like, this started as a hobby for you guys.
Still is.
So it's
Still
important,
is a hobby.
I guess, so it's important that it stays a hobby and has the enjoyment level that, like, however big it goes,
Yeah.
I guess it's still important. It remains the enjoyment level of a hobby.
How-
Definitely watching.
Oh my god! Can you believe
So self-indulgent. So self-indulgent. Oh my god.
Go back yourself.
Very nice.
Jeez.
Very nice.
Oh, my hands hurt, actually. I clapped a bit enthusiastically.
Oh,
My hands are fucking red. That really hurt.
Actually.
So, do you, and this will be my last serious,
Serious.
career
Oh.
life plan question.
You've scared Ben away.
If you could choose,
I'm on it.
so obviously, career in film or a career with music / a Danish Book Club,
Oh.
or career as an actor / obviously yours slightly could mix more easily if you should so choose.
Sure.
But if you have to pick one that becomes the life passion
Fair.
that gives you a bit of cash to live on.
Yeah, I would be a jockey. That's my answer.
What? I don't know what to do with that. Will you be a consultant?
If you want me to,
Shot put?
I'll be the horse.
Thank you very much for watching this episode of Mediocre Best Podcast.
Nah, I mean it.
You just
Right,
I
Ben.
mean it. I'm not backing that. I mean it.
What, a jockey?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Go be a jockey.
Back myself.
If you get an extra life lesson, be a jockey.
Nah, I don't know. To be honest.
The thing is, I appreciate.
That's why I preface that with that's the last, because it's one of those things where, because look, and you can obviously rebuttal this, but I'm kind of there like, actor is the main goal. I can clearly see YouTube as a side hustle that if it became something brilliant, but it kind of exists on its own plane, whereas I feel like music and acting, or music and film making and shit, who knows? If you could eventually choose to pursue one more and then way.
Well, can you imagine either? How cool would it be to be able to be paid to do that? Like to be able to successfully do that as a living at whatever level. That's the idea, right? Yeah.
I think the notion of career is kind of changing in our generation. I think that
I 100% agree.
Yeah, because it used to be like you pick a path and then you go and do it, and you work your way up the ranks.
Yeah.
And that still is happening, of course. But I think the reason why we all came here is to like find where our passions lie, find what drives us, and follow it. And I think like I appreciate the hypothetical. It's a fun thing to think about. Like, oh, which would I choose if I could do one thing? But we're lucky enough, I think. If we follow the right path, we'll just be able to do what we want as we do it, and that's kind of diminishing your question in a way.
Not at all.
That's a boring answer.
I think it's the opposite. I think because
That's a better answer.
I completely agree. Careers as a prospect is completely changing with the generation of like everyone's being like you've got like self-made, like millionaires going out. You got the idea of a career is completely changing. Like
it's exciting. People like us, that's very exciting because we're creative people, and we came to Falmouth. Well, okay, speaking for myself, I came to Falmouth to just figure out what the heck is going on here, and how I can turn it into something, outward that can be commodified enough to keep me alive, to feed myself. If not, I'll become a bloody consultant or whatever.
if not, I'll be a jockey. There's our life lesson. If you can't be anything in life, be a jockey.
Be a jockey, yeah.
There we go. Oh,
jockey.
Be a jockey.
Be a jockey. Alternative title.
You've got plenty of titles there.
Yeah, jockey, Danish Book Club, consultant.
Random human beings stand up and clap at their own.
I've quite enjoyed that. I thought that was
great.
Don't overdo it though, lads. You can't use that in every episode. We'll get bored.
Oh, we've done it many a time before. And we've done that a couple of times. Have we?
Just you in the mirror, just go.
Hey!
What a reaction!
It's just my motivation. Talk about Kermit the Frog. I'm like, well done. Good, funny. Oh my word. Anything else?
I think we've smashed it. Well,
I think that's so much fun, guys.
This has been really nice, actually. Yeah, thanks for having us.
No, thanks for coming on. I'm glad we can finally get it sorted.
What I think could be cool in the future, less of the I've loved finding out about Danish Book Club. At some point, feel free to come on just for a casual waffle.
Say, after this, I'm now like, right, I want you two on to come and just like, where we've got our notes, we just have a drink, we all come on for a waffle, just have a chat about whatever, because I think that could be I think this dynamic is a very good dynamic.
It's really
I think this is great.
It's been.
It will not be the last time at all.
Well,
thanks for coming on the show.
It's a mindset.
I feel like we should
one last clap.
one more time.
Wait,
comedy does have a rule of 3.
We got what is the life lesson? Let's start that.
Let's decide what the life lesson is.
What is our life lesson? Then
I'd like you guys to define our first true life lesson.
Give us our first life lesson of
You can have one each if you'd like.
Yeah. Okay.
Go on.
My life lesson for all the members of the Mediocre at Best family is to tend to the part of the garden that you can touch and create vibrations, and no matter how small, that lead to the overall frequency of change.
I think we should get that on the wall.
Be a jockey.
Subscribe, dickheads. We'll see you next week.